Hey guys, what's up? This is me, Sean, from techdroid.webs.com and YouTube account Sehinpete, and this is part 2 of my hyperdunk versus hyperfuse review and comparison. Try saying that 5 times fast. These are basically just a real quick overview. Nike's top-of-the-line basketball shoes available currently as of, well, not actually. The hyperfuse, there's a 2011 version. But there's really the only difference between that one and the one that's out now, the 2010 that I have here and the 2011 that's out now, is cosmetic differences. So as of Tuesday, July 26, 2011, this is pretty much Nike's top. These both are pretty much Nike's top high-end basketball shoe. Actually, the highest end and the most expensive, at least, is the hyperdunk right here, and I actually have 2 pairs. One right up there. They're blue and white. I believe his name is John Leslie. He was a international player drafted in the NBA draft 2011. If you've seen his team pictures, he donned a pair of those hyperdunks that I have right up there. So we'll continue right off from where I left off in part 1. So you guys can see the design here. Like I said, the winner in terms of design, that goes down to these hyperdunks right here. So one other thing that you can notice is, like I just mentioned, the flywire technology, these little Viticon fibers that are in here making up the skeleton of the shoe. If you've ever seen any videos, I would really advise you guys to go to Nike.com, check out videos of how these shoes were actually made, especially the hyperdunks. You'll see it's basically just looks like a piece of snake skin, basically, if you were to lace the shoe and everything like that and get it back to the original look when it first came out the factory. It's amazing how they were to take such a thin layer of material and fold it up and just add a little bit of like rubber, as you can see here, cushioning and stuff like that, and you know, Nike Air, and I believe these have Nike Air in them, and you know, just basically just a little bit of extra technology aside from the actual main design of the shoe, and turn it into basically what looks now as a normal shoe. And again, this my iPod Touch video recording just really isn't doing this shoe justice. I would record it on my Canon camera, but that it's a little bit more of a cumbersome computerized uploading process where I can just do it on the fly over Wi-Fi on my iPod. So anyways, let's get back to the review now and stop getting sidetracked. You can see the design here. Like I said, flywire right here. You get this there's a name for it, but we'll just call it perforated system here that you can see really allows your feet to breathe. This is one of the highest touted features of these hyperfuses here. A lot of shoe reviewers really say that they really like this perforated system. As you can actually see my finger on the inside, it really allows your feet to breathe, and if you're wearing them as just basically normal everyday shoes, or if you tend to wear them as normal everyday shoes and tend to ball outside on outdoor courts and you had to choose between the two, just for pure breathability wise, the air, these little perforated sections in this shoe really would make it a hard choice to turn down. I believe you got some on the right, on the left side, but not as much as the right side. So in terms of technology, Nike technology that you find in normal shoes, these have Nike Zoom technology, as you can see here. Nike Zoom. I'm not really that specky in terms of shoes, so I wouldn't be able to tell you that much, but you see that they have Nike Zoom, and if I'm not mistaken, I read in an article that these do have Nike Air technology somewhere built into them. These also are have, I believe, Nike Zoom technology, but they also have Max Air, which basically means that there's a big segment or large segment of Nike Air on them. And these what Nike Air does is there are little air pockets, as you can see here, that allow lightweight, because it's basically air, so it weighs almost nothing. But it allows your feet to be cushioned as if something was below your foot. So it provides cushioning and lightweight, and the lightweight ability all in one, which is very nice for especially a shoe that's supposed to be trying to be light. Another real quick note about Nike Air: you don't want to go in anywhere where there's a bunch of sharp rocks or pins, because if you do puncture that Nike, you can puncture that Nike Air if you step on a pin and it goes through this rubber here. And if you puncture this, there's very little way for you to get that fixed, aside from going to a Nike store and hoping that they have a way to fix it. And you probably pay an arm and a leg for these $100+ shoes. So you can see the back. These say Nike here. There's sort of they sort of stick out, as you can see here. Nike sign there, and Max Air is on the back of these. Doesn't stick out as much, but it is a little bit raised from the surface. So really, we pretty much went over the whole design of them. These are the little air pockets here that allow your feet to breathe. Definitely not as much as on the hyperfuses, and then even more are involved inside the tongue of the not the tongue, the body right here of the hyperfuses. There's even more on the side, so these shoes are really meant to let your feet breathe. You have this technology here. It's something hyper. I forget what it's called. Nike tends to use the word hyper to describe a lot of their technologies, if you haven't caught on about that yet. But as you can see there's a bunch of that technology there. You also get some on the tongue, but there's just not as much, definitely, as these hyperfuses here. But you don't get and again, they both have pretty small tongues with just the required amount of padding to make to make your foot feel comfortable, but to also keep the weight down. So now that we've done all that, we'll just go to the overall how I feel about these shoes. Personally, I'll just cut to the chase right now and declare my personal winner. My personal winner would have to be the hyperdunks, and obviously because I have two pairs of those, as opposed to just this one here of the hyperfuses. But now let me explain to you a little bit of why. Besides that, they are a little bit more pricey at $30 a pop more than the hyperfuses. Hyperfuses are about $100. These are about $125, $130, depending on where you can shop at. You can find some typically at a brand new pair at about $80 is about the cheapest I've seen, and that's because the 2011 version of these hyperdunks are coming in soon, and these I've seen them as cheap as $60 for a pair of hyperfuses. So they are kind of decreasing in price, seeing as the new models are coming in. But those new models really aren't going to be doing that much aside from aesthetic. I even talked to a Nike employee who will remain unnamed, and he said that that the shoe really, there's not that much of a difference between these Nike shoes here and the 2011 variants of them, aside from design really, and even weight wise, technology wise, they're pretty much the exact same shoe. And he said that he wouldn't expect anything different in the shoe, at least for another variant. So the 2012 version of these shoes, they might have a bit more technology, newer technology involved into them. So it looks like I've spent a little bit more time than I was hoping to, and this is going to have to be brought into a part 3. So anyways, this is me, Sean from TechTradeAutos.com. YouTube.com/Sehinpete, and stay tuned for part 3 of this review.